South African Army Lawrence Mbata is in Russia to discuss issues of military cooperation between the two nations. This is according to AFP and the Moscow Times, which cite the Russian Defense Ministry in its reports. Mbata's visit to Russia comes days after allegations by the United States that SA supplied weapons to the country. Tabiso Goba has more.
Amid allegations that a Russian ship left the Simonstown Navy base with weapons and ammunition, the commander of South Africa's ground forces, Lawrence Mbata, is leading a delegation to Moscow. The Moscow Times says Mbata visited the educational facilities of the Russian army. It says agreements were reached between the two nations to increase cooperation between the two armies in various fields. On Friday and Saturday, President Cyril Ramaphosa held talks with both the Russian and Ukraine presidents respectively, calling for peace between the two countries. Ramaphosa is yet to formally convene an independent inquiry looking into whether South African weapons were loaded into the Russian vessel. Tabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
And motorists are being warned to approach the roads with caution this evening following a warning of flash floods. It's already pouring in different parts of Gauteng, with the downpours expected to continue well into the night. A partly cloudy Tuesday in store for Gauteng tomorrow, with isolated showers and thunder showers. Joburg dropping to an overnight low of 8 degrees, peaking at 16. Pretoria 12 and 8, Vereniging 8 and 15. Lerato Huffela, Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News on 947. For more, click ewn.co.za.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
For our sports worldwide.
Steve Khombele. There's one thing about Steve and languages.
Yakshamlar Robert, Yakshamlar Kardashian. Aman, Baba.
Pendula, Baba. All I heard is Kardashian.
I have to say, boldest, Steve.
Changing and re-engineering sports on the continent and the world.
Inspirational player that you looked up to.
At the time, it was Ubabu Shaka. Shaka, no. Valdez is coming because he used to bang those goals.
Abednego.
Yes.
For our sports worldwide.
There's an opportunity for Undaf to clip one over Ramsdale and into the net. And Brighton punish Arsenal. And surely make sure of those 3 points.
There's the final whistle. They have held out. Big win. They celebrate it with some enthusiasm. Gavin Hunt delighted and Global delighted.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW. Not your ordinary Monday. It's Reaction Monday. #MSW.
City through to the Premiership. On the local front, Duncan Lechisa sent us a message earlier this afternoon saying that, well, unfortunately, he would not be able to honor the interview. He was unwell, and we wish him a speedy recovery. But one of the things that really stood out, though, I mean, the Pretoria Callies coach, Kwanele Kopo, was left with many questions unanswered after he witnessed his side conceding 4 goals in the first half against Polokwane City, who gained the automatic promotion into the Premiership. Now, first half goals coming through from the likes of Samuel Nana, Francis Baloyi, Puleng Marema, as well as Bulelani Nikani. I think in this match where Callies dished out possibly their worst performance of their season. And the coach actually introduced youngsters in the second half to try to remedy this situation. However, the damage was done. So we've asked him to join us to take us through what is dubbed a horror movie that he witnessed in the first half. Coach Kwanele Kopo, good evening. Welcome to Marumo Sports Worldwide.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to your listeners.
I saw one thing written on your face. Last night was frustration at the end of that 90 minutes. How do you feel after having reflected back on what was, as I described, the first half, conceding 4 goals in a performance that I had never seen from Callies?
Yeah, I think, Rob, as you say, a performance that you've never seen from Callies. A performance I've definitely never seen. We have not conceded 4 goals in a single match this season, let alone in the first half only. So it was very disappointing, and there was already speculation in the week and questions about what's going to happen with Callies because they are fully safe playing Polokwane. People were asking questions. I remember before kickoff when television got the team list, I was asked who 6 changes coach to the team that played last week, So it was very disappointing. A loss that heavy, I felt that it would always raise questions to football followers. And I find myself in the same space as football followers, that how does it happen that we concede 4 goals in one half? No disrespect to Polokwane. Polokwane City is a very good team, very, very strong, and congratulations to them. But, it's difficult when you have not conceded 4 goals in a single match the entire season, and you concede 4 goals in one half, and the performance is so poor. So, it left a lot of questions with that.
Have you had any of those questions answered in any way, or should we read as well from the substitutions that you made that you were not happy with certain individuals?
I think, Rob, I was not happy with many players in the team. I think today I've been dealing a lot with managing the situation internally in the club, because seemingly somewhere in the media space today it was reported that I said the senior players sold the game. And I challenge anybody who says that to give me those exact words, I was not happy with the performance of the team. If I could, at halftime, I wanted to make 5 substitutions, to be honest. And I only made 3 because I was scared that if something happens in the second half, we might not have, we will definitely not have an opportunity to put more players in. So the substitutions that were made are not specific to those particular players. The substitutions were about the performance of the team and who I felt at that time we could replace and still hopefully maintain some stability in the team. So there's an impression that's been created that the 3 players that were substituted are 3 players that are possibly involved in something. I do not know that. I cannot say that. And I feel it's unfair that people have twisted the story to say the coach says he was not happy with the senior players and he took them out at halftime. Rob, I was listening to my post-match interview today for hours.
Yeah.
For hours today to try and hear that part. And I sent the clip to the players because the players are also concerned. So it's been a very difficult day for me emotionally today. I don't know if people are trying to cause conflict. I don't know if people are trying to destroy me. I don't know if people are trying to destroy Callies. But I feel if there was such reporting by the media, it's very, very reckless. There were a lot of players I was not happy with. And when you have a team like Callies, where we brought players, especially the senior players, to lead In the first half of the season, we had a very young team, and we were bottom of the league in December. We made signings in the spine of the team with a lot of experience to help guide the players. So any responsible leader, any responsible coach, if you are to throw stones, you must throw stones on your leaders. You don't throw stones on the kids, because it's rare that your kids would really be, sometimes young players are inconsistent. But to have a performance like that was very, very bad. And it was a lot of players. So it was not the 3 players that were substituted, but I was generally not happy with the leadership on the field, with the structure of the team. We were very disorganized, we were very open. And yes, there were individual actions with more than 5 players that I felt were not normal. So that's what I meant by the questions at the end of the game, because this game had so much pressure, unlike any other normal league game. This game had a lot of people looking, and to concede 4 goals in the first half, it sends a very negative message to the community, and it puts my reputation at stake, because even from halftime, I was receiving calls and messages to say, what have you done? So it's difficult. It's difficult for me, it's difficult for the players, but I don't think we can speculate or say this player or these 3 players or this 1 player was responsible. I feel that there were a lot of actions, there were a lot of mistakes. I even say in the interview that I don't want to identify people when I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm not happy with the performance. Even today, I say it boldly, the players know. I'm not happy with the performance that we put up. I'm not happy with the performances of the senior players in the team, because you expect them to carry the team in a game of this magnitude, as they have done in every other game. And it's not the first time that I've said that to my players. If I give you insight, when we played Castric, Rob,
yeah,
we were leading 1-0. At halftime...
Is that the 1-1 draw?
The game that finished 1-1.
Yeah.
At halftime, I had a go with the players in the change room. And I said to them, we scored the goal, and then we are playing like a team. And after we scored, we began to play like a team that has been infiltrated or influenced to throw the game away. I said that in the change room to the players.
Yeah.
So I'm very surprised that today it is reported that the coach of Pretoria Kelly says the senior players sold the game. And my players have not taken to that kindly, to that particular statement kindly, I think they accept the criticism from me about the general performance of the team, but to be specifically singled out as people that have sold the game, those are not remarks that I have made. And it's very, very disturbing.
Yeah, I think disturbing, yes, and you have every right to voice that against them. I mean, the fact that you raised the Castric game as what you've said, and I do appreciate you sharing the internal conversations that you had with your players in the change room, and for you to have thought that, and when you talk in the the post-match yesterday, and you repeat the fact that the actions were not normal, you even had to substitute your goalkeeper. It wasn't a case of a goalkeeper who was injured or was going through. It was a tactical change, but you had read the game in a certain way, trying to avoid maybe further humiliation in the second half. So maybe those thoughts might ring true to whoever's listening and saying, what is Gwanele alluding to? What is he insinuating? Then we could all insinuate certain things, because if you can't penetrate through a head coach like you, a man who I know for many years has principles of coaching, then maybe other people could try get to the individual players who might cause a certain outcome to a game to maybe pinpoint at them. Do you not think that maybe sometimes, and I don't say that those reports are accurate, but I'm just saying that sometimes when you try to read into what is being said or not said, we might get to that conclusion?
I think because of this particular game, and because of the impact of this game, we're playing against a team that is playing for promotion. I think that people were always sitting in a corner to see what is going to happen. If we were playing JDR, for example, last week we played against JDR, Rob. I changed the entire team, even the goalkeeper, because I wanted to give the other players a run. And we won against JDR, so nobody questions that. And this week, I returned back to the players that play week in, week out. Exactly for the reason that I felt that if I played the same team I played against JDR, there would be speculation that we have thrown the game. The keeper that played is the keeper that has played since January. He's the first choice goalkeeper for Kelly's, And if people watch the game, in the first half, I think after we conceded 2 goals or something, I sent the reserve goalkeeper to go and warm up because I was scared of that embarrassment, that, here we might be embarrassed, But I held that substitution up until halftime because I also felt that it would be unfair to the keeper that was playing to substitute him so early, and it would send a very, very wrong message, But at halftime, we needed to close the door. At halftime, we needed to stabilize the team. And I understand that people will speculate, but I think it's irresponsible of people in the media space to speculate and then twist the words and say the coach says the players sold the game. I mean, I sent the clip to all the players today, the post-match interview. And like I said to you, the whole day I've listened to that clip. And it's really, really broken me because I've had to interact with the players. I've had to calm the players down. I've had to send a clip to the players to say that, find me those words. So I think those words are wrong. I think it would be fair if, Gopo criticized the players. And then in the clip, actually, I don't even use the word senior players. I just say I brought in younger players, and I was happy with the performance of the younger players. And I hope they stay in the straight and the narrow.
Just a quick one, Coach, before I am out of time. The management of the team, have they reached out to you? Have they raised any concern based on this current story?
No, not yet, Rob. I've only been speaking to the players. But at halftime, the leadership of the team was in the change room because I think they were as upset as I am with being down 4-0, And like I said in the post-match interview, I didn't speak at halftime. I made the changes and I changed the structure. And then I asked the management to also voice their concerns. So today I've tried to stay away from a lot of people, to be honest with you. Even with the players, I only spoke to them once and then I've switched my phone off because I've said to them, I don't want to be fighting with players for something that I'm alleged to have said, which is not the truth. But I've had the team manager phoning me today out of concern of what is happening, and I appreciate that. But yeah, Rob, I think this game was always going to have questions, but I don't like the way that it has turned out. But it's football. I know. I've had messages last night that say to me, take it with a pinch of salt. Put on your brave face and move on. It has passed. But I think for the integrity, as you say, me, Rob, I don't think I would get involved in anything like this. And even with the players, we've warned them since we survived relegation. We warned them about this speculation that if we do anything out of the ordinary, there's going to be speculation that we did something wrong. So I think the emotions yesterday in the post-match interview is exactly an expression of that we knew that if something out of the ordinary happens, this is going to be the response. And something out of the ordinary happened. We conceded 4 goals in the first half. So, that's the difficulty. But again, Polokwane is a good team. In the first round, we only lost 1-0 to them. In a friendly in January, we lost 2-1 to them. So it was just very difficult for a team that has not conceded 4 goals the entire season to concede for us to fall apart like that. So questions were always going to be raised, and I'm the first person to ask those questions because I've never seen it in 18 months.
No, absolutely, and that is why the honesty of your post-match interview is what raises the ire. But I want to thank you so much indeed for wanting to put the record straight and really reassure many people that would have been following the game of what the truth really is. Kwanele Gopo, I've got to leave it there. Kelly's coach joining us right here on Marumo Sports Worldwide. Thank you so much, Baba. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Rob. Thank you.
All right. Crazy stuff happening. On the last match day in the first division, obviously, Purane City are the champions.
Marumo Sports Worldwide Live. On 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. #MSW.
Digital gives you 1% cashback when you apply for a home loan online. Human connects you to credit experts who make sure you get the best deal. Get a dedicated relationship banker, 100% home loans up to 5 million rand, and preferential rates. Enjoy the complete private banking experience with private clients from Nedbank. Digital when you want it, human when you need it. Search Nedbank Private Clients online. See money differently. Nedbank. We are a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Are you ready?
This
is
947.
We're coming to you live as Sabo's finished serving a final order of peri peri. Time to focus on his bet on today's game.
Otata! He's got his phone in hand.
He's got a chance to cash out, one of Betway's many thrilling offers. But Sabo will be the first one to tell you, never undercook a Roadrunner.
Look at this man. He's in complete control.
Oh, he's done it. He's cashed out.
It's a shoe.
Take it out the oven because Sabo's bet is well done. All thanks to Betway.
T's and C's apply. Licensed and regulated by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. For gambling counseling, call SARGF on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp 076 675 0710.
In my business, I was always told, look before you leap. I'm more like leap before you look. Because if you spend too much time looking, you'll end up not leaping, and besides, the vantage point from the air is much better. So leap, man, leap.
Become a Sage customer like Miles and set up your business to fly with our helpful accounting, HR, and payroll tools. Visit sage.com today. Sage, helping business flow.
This is 947.
947.
OpenView brings you UltraView, adding flavor to your viewing with exclusive Indian shows. Enjoy dramas, romance, reality, and Bollywood blockbusters by activating the Spice Bouquet on UltraView. It's one decoder to unlock the excitement at an affordable price while still enjoying all the free OpenView content. Get your OpenView decoder from all leading retailers today. Add the Spice Bouquet and enjoy UltraView.
Previously on Marumo Sports Worldwide.
Roberto, you are with Fanny Madida, one of our best strikers in this country. Robert, Fanny is not famous here in South Africa. Fanny is famous in Turkey. Everywhere we were going, Madida, Madida, Madida.
Stan Scriba Jabalala can never be Preston without a laugh like that. Preston. He says you are very famous in Turkey. You're not famous at all in South Africa. And that for me is very sad. Because I know you're the first player to have played from South Africa in Turkey.
Maybe here at home is familiarity. It breeds contempt.
We don't wish each other well here, do we?
Marumo Sports Worldwide, Monday to Friday weekdays.
Good evening, Mr. Marumo on MSW as well as MSW shareholders. This is Sibusiso Mkwanazi from Emandeni, Ewangu. I would like to take this opportunity and congratulate Polokwane City to have made it to qualify for the DStv Premiership status, and also, our team, Kaizer Chiefs, did not do well, but we appreciate what Zwane has done so far. Looking at the position we are lying, it's not too bad compared to other seasons. I just wish for management to still keep the coach for the next season, 2023-2024 season. Thank you very much.
Mr. Marawa stay nohlelo lonke le-MSW nabalaleli bakhona Sithembe uyaphila Nkuzimala. No, it's been a great pleasure to meet again. Yabona ibhola limnandi when it comes to ukuthi sijabule nje sijabulise inhliziyo nesikhathi. Mara yabona when it comes to violence, no, it's bad. Iyalahleka ke lento. Otherwise amanye amaqembu adlale kahle. I-under pressure ikhona manje ebholini because iyafuneka le win noma kanjani. Uqashe isitolo. Thank you.
Good evening, Rob. This is Patani Dani in Durban, the Kaizer Chiefs supporter. I just want to take this moment and congratulate all the teams that have won the leagues with the games to spare, the likes of Mamelodi Sundowns, Barcelona, and Napoli. And once again, as a Kaizer Chiefs lover, we don't condone violence. We don't condone violence. What happened in Ralph Gang is not acceptable.
Rob, yesterday I witnessed a 4-goal thriller at Tsakani Stadium. As anticipated, it was going to be a difficult game for Kasrik Stars to win against a well-coached All-Stars. And in the end, I saw a whole lot of disappointed fans, whom some have traveled as far as Komhlanga in Mpumalanga for a Sunday afternoon match, which clearly indicates that there's a demand for football in that province. And also, Rob, what happened at Royal Bafokeng on Saturday was rather disappointing for football. And I just want to apologize to Coach Arthur Zwane and say 8 years of drought cannot ever be one man's fault, Rob. And I just want to wish him strength and hope that he will recover from what has happened. Thank you so much, Tebohoye.
Not your ordinary Monday. It's Reaction Monday. Hashtag MSW.
Right, plenty of WhatsApp voice notes that are coming through right here on Mara Sports Worldwide. It is a Monday and we are live on the YouTube channel 947 Joburg / and you could find us right here. Send us your comments as well on the YouTube channel. Otherwise, utilize all the social media platforms and including the WhatsApp voice note number. Coming back home though, hey, such an honor, such a pleasure to be hosting this gentleman sitting right here in front of me. I mean, his team continues to dominate the Tanzanian League. And since being voted in as president, his side has won 2 trophies so far. The latest one being the league title that they managed to win as early as this past weekend. So nice and fresh. The champion is here in studio. I mean, his side, Younger SC, I mean, that's the kind of side that really inspires, is in the country. They're going to be playing against Marumo Gallants in their CAF Confed Cup semi-final second leg. And tonight, we get to know how he managed, though, to turn the fortunes around of this team and what we can expect under his leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, as they call him, the engineer, Hersi Ally Said, is here with me in studio, the president of Young Africans SC. Mr. President, thank you so much for your time. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Robert. Very happy to be here.
A great honor indeed to see you. It's a whirlwind trip to South Africa. Just tell me firstly, as champions, that feeling, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Actually, it's a good feeling to be champions. We made our championship. I mean, this is our 29th.
Yes.
You know, Young Africans is the oldest football club in Tanzania, established around 1935. So this is, we managed to run the club for 88 years now, 29 championship this season. Being a president of the club and, you know, crowded champions is something that everyone will be looking for, and I'm very happy and excited.
What do you think has brought about this championship winning season, especially given the amount of time you still have left, the games that have been in hand and so on? So it gives you a bit of comfort to now focus on another dream of yours, which is to conquer the African continent via the Confed Cup.
Yeah, actually, we have a lot of works to do. In the beginning of the season, we won the Charity Shield.
Yeah.
It was my first trophy as a president of the club, and then now becoming a champion of NBC Premier League 2022-2023. But still, we do have 2 trophies in our hand. Semi-final of CAF Confederation, 1 leg with 2 advantages, two goal advantages, and we still have to play semi-final of FA Cup in Tanzania as well. So 4 trophies around, 2, we've marked 2 of them, still 2 on our hands. It's a tough moment for everyone, but thank the entire squad and the technical bench and the supporters that were behind us for the entire season. And we are now looking forward for the second leg of CAF Confederation that will be played here in SA on 17th. And then we're going to have to go back in Tanzania and play the FA Cup semi-final on 21st. A lot of games around, yeah.
But how are you managing that, though? Is it a case of bring in a couple of private jets here and there to make travel safer and quicker so that you can get down and then back up again?
It's difficult. I mean, one of the most important things that we're doing is with our technical bench, they're very good in rotation.
Yeah.
So we have a squad of 28 players that are almost the same level. So whoever that starts, we will have almost the same impact. So, like I said, we played 2 days ago, our 28th game of the season, and we won, and we still keep aside 7 players from our normal starting lineup. that will be playing on 17th against Marumo. So it's a rotational thing that will keep us moving as long as we have games and the players, but the technical bench manage to do that. Yeah.
I mean, I look at the ironies here. You're looking at a club that's just become league champions domestically back in Tanzania. You're playing against a club here in South Africa that is struggling, that is going to be going into their final match day over the weekend, having to not sure of their status. They might be relegated, who knows, or they might go into a playoff scenario. So the ironies are glaring because it's different strengths. But the one thing about Marumo Gallants when it comes to Confed Cup or playing on the continent is that they've shown a different resolve to what we've seen them do in the domestic league. What have you made of them, having watched them, and especially the 90 minutes you'd have shared when you played in the first leg?
First and foremost, I would like to congratulate Marumo, the way they play in the CAF Confederation. It's amazing. We're looking at the table. A week or two ago, they were on number 16, the last, on the log. And then at the same time, they were on top of their group in CAF Confederation. So there are two definitions if you look around. Number one is either the league here in South Africa is so strong, having said that a team from the bottom of the table being the top of the CAF Confederation. That is number one. Number two, it's either or. Their focus is making a mark in the international competition and not focusing on the local league. But we've played them 90 minutes in Dar es Salaam. The quality of Marumo is up there. They've got very good players, the way they play, their tactical understanding, their tactical discipline. It's very, very high. And I appreciate the way they played in Dar es Salaam. They created a number of chances. Unfortunately, they couldn't use the chances, but there were 3 or 4 clear chances that they can convert. So we are coming here with full respect. We're not saying that we have qualified. It's going to be a tough game, especially Marumo. They have nothing to lose.
When you talk about nothing to lose, it's everything to gain for yourselves. I throw back to last year. The club's first ever president is given that task, is elected into a position for the very first time ever. There's a club president. I'll track back the history in terms of why I talk about this, but you become a club president at a mere 38 years old.
Sure.
There's a massive task that is thrown into somebody who is, by profession, a civil engineer. And that is what you've been, a director for the GSM group as well. And your love for football stems back. I'll draw back to the inference of your now late dad and his frustrations about this particular team. But let me get to the stage where you put yourself into a scenario where there is that belief in you, that belief that you can deliver the turnaround from a club that was now struggling financially and otherwise. Talk me through that.
All right, Robert. So the thing was, Young Africans used to be, like I said, it's the oldest football club in Tanzania, and it has the biggest history. When they started it around 1935, it was a group of leaders, including the first president of Tanzania, Mwalimu Nyerere. They were looking for a community that can fight independence. So it was part of the community that fights independence of Tanzania that we gained in 1961. So in terms of history, Young Africans is the biggest club in terms of history. Success as well. So what happened? A few years ago, we had a sponsor who was doing everything. Sponsoring the club, and he was a chairman as well. Unfortunately, he had some difficulties with leadership and management. He moved away from the country. And Young Africans dropped dramatically. They couldn't be able even to pay the salaries of the players. Forget about signing.
Sorry to cut in. The incident, as it was reported, was that he was arrested.
Yes.
So he was incarcerated, arrested. Then
exactly
he had to leave the country. Post that, because he then couldn't come back into a cloud with that cloud hanging over his head.
Yes. Yeah. And then that's affected our club completely. We couldn't be able to pay salaries, and the players were, looking for other football clubs for them to survive. So based on that, Young Africans dropped dramatically in terms of performance, in terms of results. That was 2017, 16, 17. So we struggled for 4 good seasons, and members and fans were donating. And unfortunately, we couldn't have a proper channel of them donating. So sometimes you donate and, the money goes away. You don't even know who picked the money and the expenses as well. So we faced a very difficult moment. And then my company, as a director of investment called GSM Group, decided to come in and help the club. So under my wing of investment, the owner of the company, Mr. Hersi Ally Said Mohammed, tasked me to run the club, to support the club. So that's how it started. And then I become the chairman of the committee that runs the transformation of the club. And the project manager of the committee that runs the transformation. So we come up with a project called Transformation. So the Transformation project was a project that was specifically invested into a club to change from the old system of operation to a new system of operation. Like I said, Young Africans has a big number of supporters across the country. And we couldn't have the better way of running the club. So we went to Spain. We engaged La Liga as our consultant. They were part of the transformation project. They were consulting us and giving us the modern operation of a football club. So based on that, and I was the project manager, I took through the club in terms of transformation and making new structures. And after that, immediately, it went to the AGM, the annual general meeting, where members and fans voted 100% and say, we need to transform our club. So there were 3 stages, actually, in that transformation. Number 1 was the club ownership. Initially, it was 100% members. And then we become 49 investors and 51 members. So still majority holders, shareholders are members, and 49 were opening doors for investors to come in and invest. Number 2 was the structure of engaging the investors and private and public football club. And number 3 was fan engagement. So through fan engagement, we created a system whereby members and fans register themselves into a club. So we have a big database of our club members and fans, and they are officially supporting the club financially by paying their membership fees. So through that, we engage the project and get an approval from the members and fans through annual general meeting. And from there, it was now officially agreed. And then we create our own constitution. We amend our own constitution to accommodate all those changes. And then after that, also one of the changes was now to move from having a chairman of the club to have a president of the club. So we had to do election. In that election, I was the only candidate for the president's position, and everyone would say, you know what, this is your position. You're the one who took us from the old system to a new system.
We want you,
we want you to run the thing. So this is how I became a president of the club. And through that, we were having 2 stages as a company like GSM. Number 1 was a short term. So Mr. Hersi Ally Said Mohammed decided to pump in money to support the club in terms of signing, training facilities, logistics, salaries, and everything. So he, in short term, he was supporting 100%, moving the club from having bad results to now compete for trophies. And then number 2 now, after the successful transformation, then that's a long-term strategy that we came up with. So now we're between a short-term and a long-term, because Mr. Ghalib still support financially, but the members and fans are paying their membership fees. And Young Africans is the most, I can say, we are now sitting at 70,000 members registered. 70,000 registered members, and who paid their membership fees. I think it's the highest in Sub-Sahara.
No, it is. And when I looked at the figures as well early on during the day, just in preparation for our conversation, and you'll tell me about this after the break, though. And I think as a 101 lesson in how to run a football club, and I think engineer here has engineered a wonderful strategy of how to go about doing it, because I was made to learn that in the space of 6 months, from the fan subscription alone, you had garnered $500,000 US, $500,000 US. How did he do that? Find out after this.
Marawa Sports Worldwide Live on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. #MSW.
What do you consider amazing? At Lexus, we believe it's bringing the future a little bit closer to today. That's why the next generation Lexus NX has the Lexus Safety System Plus that protects people inside and out. A driver-focused cockpit with a 14-inch touchscreen. And Hey Lexus, a virtual assistant that reacts intuitively to you. The next generation Lexus NX. Next is now. Lexus. Experience amazing.
Whether you're transporting people or goods, let us protect the business you've worked so hard to build. My Way Business Insurance offers comprehensive insurance for your commercial vehicles, goods in transit, liability cover, and more. And with us, you only pay for what you need. For a quote, visit myway.co.za or call us on 0860 64 64 64. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. Standard rates and T's and C's apply.
Let's chat things way cool. No, may cool. Like long nights to watch cool movies, series, and shark dance videos on your wide-screened Samsung Galaxy A54 for only 369 Rand per month over 36 months on a 1.2 gig red core data plan with free Galaxy Watch 4 Bluetooth and a 1,044 Rand saving. Deal valid on new contracts till 6 June at Chats Connect stores. SA's largest independent dealer channel exclusive to Vodacom. T's and C's apply. Are shark dance videos cool? Are shark dance videos cool?
Do you want your home to reflect your personal style and elegance? Look no further. At Aesop's Home, we offer South Africa's largest collection of exclusive imported and locally crafted furniture and home decor. Whether you prefer the luxury of modern designs, the sophistication of contemporary styles, or the timeless appeal of classic pieces, Aesop's Home has something to suit every taste and every home. Visit one of our showrooms or aesops.co.za today. Aesop's Home. Express yourself.
Things are racing ahead. Your account's in the red. The kids need new shoes and account payments are due. High shame, South Africa. You need a reason to smile. So get smiling with these deals from Spar. 500 grams Spar Choice salted butter, $54.99. And 3 kg Sunlight Auto 2-in-1 washing powder or 2-liter Auto Liquid Assorted, $89.99. Valid until 21 May while stocks last. T's and C's apply. Spar, where for smiles.
Lotto Stars Aviator is here to launch your millionaire dream. Place your bets now and watch them get multiplied. Bet on how high the plane will fly and make sure you cash out before it flies away. You could win a payout of up to 2 million Rand in seconds. Lotto Star, your world of live games.
Lotto Stars, licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s. National Responsible Gambling Program. 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Previously on Marumo Sports Worldwide.
The one and only, the noble, the gentle, the humble, Fanny Matita.
Rob, mbanakit uphethe udidisa. Fanny Matita. Itatsane green. England, I polish every time I scramble. That was Fanny Matita polishing the mod. Zishayina. 16V apeti jetta. Fanny Matita itatsane.
Brian Mate. I mean, what a tribute. From the heart, humorous.
But yeah, those really were the days. Hey, that's in 140U in a white hall.
That's it, but I'm sure you had the sheepskin as well as, you know. Yeah, he has legend is game over.
You know me not, but you know me now. Marumo Sports Worldwide. Monday to Friday weekdays.
Good evening, Rob. This is Odisha here in Cape Town. A Reaction Monday. Yeah, my goodness, lots of sporting activities this weekend. Actually, Rob, on Saturday, I went to the Cape Town Stadium where I was watching the semi-finals of the URC match between the Stormers and Irish side Coconut. What a match it was. And again, the Stormers are through to the final. You know that they'll be defending this trophy. And we got a home final. So, yeah, we're going to enjoy the match. It will be probably the last match for our captain, that is Steve Kishoff. We had a very, very good game on Saturday. Then on Sunday, Robert, it broke my heart. Cape Town Spurs, formerly Ajax of Cape Town, had a chance to come back into the PSL. All they needed was to get 3 points from Amatex, and you know what happened? It was 1-1. It was total capitulation of the highest order, and I felt for the boys, and I felt so much much also for the legend Sean Bartlett. We had done so well to galvanize those youngsters to be where they are. But, you know, they've got the second bite of the cherry because they will be playing in the playoffs. But, you know, we say congratulations to Polokwane Stars for coming back into the league. But at the same time, Daipopisal Dance will have to live another day whereby they'll be playing in the playoffs. So from me, Odysseus, thank you so much, Rob, and enjoy the program.
Hi, Robert. It's Malcolm X. Robert, I'm a Sundowns fan. You know, Robert, the issue of North Africa, you know, there's a certain aggression, you know, and it's not your normal aggression. There's a certain aggression and tricks that are being played in North Africa. Just leave the 2 red cards. I'm sure one might say they were well deserved, but, you know, when you talk about North Africa, then you include VAR. You know, it's just a recipe for disaster. At some point, I said on this show, I'm better off without VAR because you see, when you go to North Africa, there's all this sort of tricks, that diving and all these things. And even this thing of using of lasers, Robert, I've never seen anywhere in the world. What does the rule say about using lasers? You know, North Africans don't want to win fair and square. They come up with all sort of tricks. And you know that if you're going to play in North Africa, prepare yourself for a headache. Thank you, Robbie.
A headache in North Africa. I'll find out from the president his thoughts about VAR.
And Rob, and the president of Yanga Football Club, Mr. President, welcome to the country. I just want to ask you, what is the secret or the strategy that you guys are using to get so many fans into the stadiums? Because whenever Yanga is playing, the stadium is filled to the rafters, and there's just electrifying atmosphere. And I just want to find out what is the secret behind that. And it's very great to see one of the players that was playing in this country, Morrison, doing well at the club. Thank you so much, Tebogoye.
Yeah, Morrison banging goals at the last minute, eh?
Bena.
Oh, yeah. Formidable guy there. Loved him. What a human being. Chatting here in studio, Hersi Ally Said, Young Africans SC president. He's my guest here until the top of the hour. And I can see on social media, as well as on social media platforms, people watching or listening throughout South Africa, throughout the continent, throughout the world, and good to have you on board. I'll take a question as well from Juma Ayo, who has sent through a question. But what Tebogo was just saying, that what is the secret? Not only just about the derby, though, Mr. President, it's about your games in general. Full house, certain, almost every time.
Sure. Number one is we have a very strong supporters across the country. Whenever we go, it's not even a stadium. Media people, they'll be able to tell us more. We're informing our members, let's say we're going to one of the regions, let's from Dar es Salaam to any upcountry region. You go to Arusha, you go to Mwanza. We inform our members and fans like we are coming to Arusha, we will land at this time, and you will see a number of supporters coming into airport. You're not talking about a stadium. They will come straight to the airport and you know, support their team right from the airport. So, and this is based on, I can tell you, the structure of our club is based on the membership branches. So all the members must be registered in a specific branch. So you must have a branch before you become a member of Yanga. And the branch are scattered all over the country. So we have branch in every part of the country. So those branch leaders are the one organizing the members and fans to support their team. So that is number one. Yeah. Number two is the quality of players. We used to have a very difficult moment back then when we never had good players and good results as well. So if you don't have good players, good results, nobody can come and watch the game. So now we have the best players around the team, and we managed to win 49 unbeaten. Don't forget that. So with that 49 unbeaten, the fans and members, they're very happy and say, you know what, I'm going to watch the game every week in, week out. And the reason behind is they will see good football and they will get results as well.
But how do you challenge yourself in that? Because here you are, first season or first year in as a president of the club, unheard of previously. You can't even look back in history in terms of the position itself, but also just the achievement that you have garnered in such a short space of time. You've already won the championship. Confed Cup is up. There's Community Shield in the bag. There's still the FA Cup that you can contend and win. So much success, short space of time. Are you up for the challenge? Are you up for the thrill of what the expectations will be, not just from yourself, but from these millions of fans?
Robert, there's one more point which is very important.
Yeah.
I've been with the team for 3 years as a leader.
Correct.
But now it's just 1 year of being a president.
The president, correct.
Those 2 years that I'm talking about, Yanga was very down. I signed, look at the squad now.
Yeah.
I can tell you by the time I was in as a chairman of this the transformation part, until now, we don't have any player that was part of that regime. So I've wired up everything. This is a new squad that I built from scratch. Talking about goalkeepers that we have now, all of them, I'm the one who signed them. The central defenders, the backline, the entire backline, it's under my registration. The midfielders, the strikers. So I built this team from scratch. So 2 years I was building this team. The third year I become, now you're talking about last season, we became champion because of the registration of good players. This season again, as a president, we become champion because of that. So it's not something that came from nowhere. My first season, we became number 2 in the league. We signed like 7 players and we became number 2. My second season, I add more 10 players, in total 17. And then we become champions. That was last season. This season, I've signed again 5 players and 2 locals, so total of 7, to now coming up with 28 players. You're talking about the entire squad that was signed under my leadership.
But also just convincing a Malian national goalkeeper and Diarra to come through and sign up with something else. A top player, Maele, coming through from the Congolese team as well. I mean, that's not easy to get these top players who are number 1, number 2 goalkeepers for their national teams.
Sure. And then we have Azizi Ki, the player from ASEC Mimosas, one of the best in Africa. Last season, he played for ASEC Mimosas and they were doing well in African tournaments. And he was attracting all the clubs across the continent as well. But it was easy for me to convince these players because I was doing it myself. Robert, I was traveling all the way to Congo to pick the players myself. I was traveling to, if I give you the story of Aziz, I went to watch him when he was playing with Berkane against ASEC Mimosas. I went to Morocco just for him. I spoke to him. He saw how serious I was. And then I had to travel again to Ivory Coast to convince his mother for him to come to Yanga. So it wasn't easy. And some of the players and the managers and their parents, they want to see the seriousness of leaders. And now they have seen it. And on top of that now, after what we've done this season, it's easy for me to bring any player, even from South Africa.
Well, you've taken a CEO from us here.
Yeah, sure.
which is one of the things I think Pro Pilani wanted me to ask you. He's one of our leading sports gurus here in South Africa. You were saying that what sort of skills did a guy like Senzo Mbata bring at Yanga?
Senzo was experienced international leader as well with his experience.
Yeah.
And then he came from Simba. Actually, I picked him not from South Africa.
Oh, he had come from next door.
From the other side of the street. And Senzo brought in, I was doing part of the management and I wanted to have someone like a CEO to run a football club. Coming from my side, at that time, I was on the sponsorship side and part of the leadership. But we wanted to have a strong CEO that has experience to build the team. As of now, Senzo has added a number of experience and also put in place the system into our club, and we managed to win the league last season with him. And then he moved for other opportunities. And
so
then
you couldn't lock him down. Come on, I mean, surely.
I wanted actually. He stayed away from his family for a very long time. I mean, and to me, it makes a lot of sense. But he's going to be there on Wednesday when we're playing Gallants, and we were very, very connected. We're in good terms. He's part of Yanga as of now. We've been contacting and giving us more details.
So,
and
which South
information
African player are you currently scouting?
There's one player I really love. I don't want to. I know I respect he has a contract, but we will see end of the season. I'm going to bring one player from South Africa to Tanzania.
Which club, at least? Looks around for help. Trust us, so that when we bring you back into the studio again.
Let me keep it. I'm going to surprise you guys. I need to bring one player from South Africa.
Okay, I'll mention...
technically, for technical reason, not for fun reason.
Yeah.
We do have other reasons, like let's say we're signing a player. I can tell you, Young Africans is very popular across Africa because of the type of players that we're bringing from their own countries. You go to Congo, when Yanga is playing, everyone is cheering Yanga. You go to, because of our players, there are some of the players you're talking about. Fiston Mayele is from Congo. And we played in Lubumbashi, his hometown, and half of the stadium was supporting him while we were playing
Just for one
Mazembe.
individual.
Yes.
So the player from South Africa that you want, and I'm pushing it because of time, is it somebody you can say yes or no, from Chiefs, Pirates, or Sundowns?
No.
Not at all.
No.
But is from the Premiership here in South Africa.
From the Premiership here, yeah.
Phew. Striker, goalkeeper. Striker.
Yeah.
Top striker.
Top striker.
Top goal scorer right now.
Robert, you're killing me now. You're almost there.
Okay, all right. Let me take Juma Ayo, because he had sent me this question. He says, when will he manage to start a transformation of the club? He says, now Yanga has a CEO while they are still working on a former system as well. I mean, what's your take around the CEO? I'm sure you kind of understand what Juma's saying.
I know what he's saying, so what is happening now, it's most of the in-house process. So the transformation was already done, part of it, including the structure and also the leadership. Like I said before, we used to have a chairman, now we have a president. So the structure is well taken care, but now we do have other programs that will be coming in, including valuation of the club so that we can be able to sell 49%. But for me, I just want to tell them, Tanzanian people, they should understand, we are raising the value of our club before we start doing the valuation. You can evaluate the team 1 year ago and you do it now. The value of Yanga at this point in time will be very high compared to last season. So we're trying to give it a space and build the team so that when we do the proper valuation, the club value becomes high. And when we sell that 49%, we'll get more money. Like it can't be the same as what we've done 2 years ago. So yes, the transformation process is done, is going well, but most of the activities are in-house and not for the public use.
A lot of people enjoying the interview all the way through in Tanzania, watching it on YouTube. And Dela Maketa says, with our president, what an interview, boss. The meaningful leadership that you bring in. This is Young Africans. Well, I try to hunt for your Twitter handle. I couldn't find it. It's a lovely one. It's CAAMIL8. So
yes.
Ndele, thank you so much for bringing it through. I'm going to follow you. I'll be one of your followers right now, because it looks like you've learned a great deal from the use of Manji, one person ownership from one person's pocket. And then there was that 2015-2018 period where the club was in the doldrums. You've woken it up. Now, let's say somebody listening to the show says, what a well-run club. I want to purchase it tomorrow. What's the value of the club at the moment?
So we're going to do a proper valuation. We engage a proper valuer, and then he will be in a position of evaluating the club, and then we'll do the multiples, so getting 49% out of the club is going to be how much? And then from there we can float the shares on the market. So as of now, I cannot say how much is the value of 1%, but we'll be able to do that after we engage a proper consultant.
As I said, I was hoping that he would tell the story, because a lot of people are a bit confused and saying, how can an entire president go scouting for players? This man's dream and his following, started way back. His dad, listening on the radio, not even had television then, on the radio, would be very frustrated at a losing Yanga. And when a son sees a dad frustrated and unhappy and close to tears, you want to find out, to become inquisitive, what is going on? What is this club? What's this football? And the short story is, he wanted to change the course of that. In 20 seconds, Dad must be proud in heaven right now.
Inshallah.
Hey? He must be proud of what you're doing.
He is, I'm sure. Where he is now, he'll be very proud of his son,
But good luck. Good luck for the game against Marumo Gallants. I know that, South Africans will be vying for Marumo Gallants, but in terms of what you've done and your leadership, as well as joining us here tonight, I wish you nothing but the best, Mr. President. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Robert. It was nice meeting you in person.
Thank you.
I used to watch you.
Before I got fired.
Yeah.
Okay, before I get fired from radio, let's go.
Marumo Sports Worldwide Live. In 3, 2, 1. On 9-4.